Hello and welcome everyone. Namaste. My name's John King from Karmic Seeds. I'm a licensed hypnotherapist and Reiki master, and I'm grateful and I thank you for joining us here today for a group trance and energy share. A few things I want to cover today. As always, a bit of self-love and acceptance and gratitude. I'm going to talk a tiny bit about neuronal plasticity simply because the lava lamps at the moment are just warming up and it's a good basis for me to talk about shortly. So you'll see these little spires of lava as it's starting to melt, and eventually there'll be these lovely slow blobs, and I'll come back to that. Before we start and before I get on my usual rambles, a couple of safety messages as always. So if your mental health or your physical health, general disposition is not that great at the moment, depending on where you're at within yourself, please check with your licensed mental health practitioner to make sure that a hypnotic trance, a self-hypnotic trance, and some Reiki energy work are right for you today. If you're underage, then please get your parents' or guardians' permission to watch this recording. So with the intention to do no harm and for our highest and best will and good, let's make ourselves a bit more comfortable, relax. I'm going to ramble a bit before I start the trance proper. Personal power, confidence, on so many levels, most of us as we go through life, sort of go with the flow, accept what we're told. Then sometimes we challenge authority, do all sorts of different things, and especially in these pretty trying times at the moment, with lots of uncertainty, lots of tension and stress, it's so easy to give away our own confidence and power to other people. Now, when we go through the process of getting that back, of regaining our confidence, of loving and supporting ourselves, doing what we feel is right for us in this moment of now, that can be a challenge. And wherever you are on that journey, if you are on that journey, I hope you find yourself deep and connected and well. And remember that we are all connected. And however we get to the situations that we do, wherever we may find ourselves, however we may have lost our concentration. Now I've lost my concentration. However we may have lost our confidence, getting back on track and lovingly supporting myself and laughing at myself, which is one of the best ways to be. We take ourselves too seriously, and my friends who knew me when I was younger know just how much of a square I used to be and how little of a sense of humor I had at times, especially about myself and about science. Know that, life is so much better when you can relax and laugh at the whole ridiculous, glorious mess. So where am I going with respect to neuronal plasticity and getting back your own power? So it's mostly somewhat reasonably accepted, as we will hear from the older generations, and I belong to one of the older generations now, but so many people say, oh, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, and once you're 60, that's it, or once you're 50 or 70 or whatever the number. Now, the medical profession backed that up until recently, and now the reality that we find is that our brains are actually not as inflexible as we're taught to believe. And even when we're 80 and 90, if we so choose, and ultimately the choice is always our own, it's easy to say, oh no, I'm stuck in this way, I can't change. And yet, the way our neurophysiology, how everything works together, the biochemistry, energy, all these amazing factors and fun things, if we put our mind to it, we can create more of that neuronal goo, the goo in our brain, let's just say brain goo, that allows our neurons to change, to grow in different directions. And yes, it's a wonderful concept. And once we start applying it to ourselves and going, look, to make our brains more active. You know, we've heard of brain training, so we need to do new things. We need to apply our brain power and skills, and whether that's solving puzzles or being creative, learning something new, significantly new. That might be learning a new instrument, or if you're like me, having to relearn music from scratch, a different language, getting yourself out of your own comfort zone. And that's really difficult because our comfort zone is incredibly comfortable. And again, that's all well and good. And if we're happy, then we're probably quite happy in our comfort zone. However, when we're constantly complaining and not only not comfortable in our zone of behavior, if we're genuinely unhappy and trapped in whatever thought patterns, we can change those. We simply have to be prepared to put in a bit of effort. Again, so much proof, clinical proof, that if you sit and if you feel, make yourself feel grateful, if you meditate, if you do all these different things, we can change and adjust our attitude. It's much easier to go to the doctor, get a pill, a prescription that unfortunately quite often will dissociate you from your feelings. So if you can't feel your feelings, you can't adjust them and fix them. And we end up in these addicted cycles of different legal and illegal drugs that often don't do enough. Now, most certainly they are very valuable and have their place. And more valuable is practicing skills that give you the strength and confidence to be yourself, to do what you can in this world, and to give yourself permission to enjoy life. So when we find that we're not enjoying life enough, and we adjust things, and we might reflect, and there's all these stories of woe and, you know, negative experiences that we've had, which then quite often can lead to a programming, and depending on when certain things happen in your life that may have caused negative thought patterns. So, you know, as one, in my case, for example, becomes aware that your sexuality is different or not acceptable, or actually a bad thing, then you start suppressing that, and you can end up with feelings of inadequacy, of not being good enough, and for some reason a deep-seated belief that this inferiority complex, or this not being good enough, is that there's genuinely something wrong with us. And we're not taught enough, often enough, to realize that there is nothing wrong with us. Yes, in society we judge each other, and unfortunately that's where we are. And the more we actually simply go, well, I'm me. I've been programmed by life to be the way that I am, and I've learned to accept that, and I will learn to accept that. Everyone else around me has the same sort of issues. Well, not all the same issues. However, we all struggle with life, and we all are taught certain things, and we're not taught, usually, how to be absolutely accepting of everyone. You know, it's difficult to accept everyone, especially if there's negatives involved. Just because we accept them doesn't mean that we condone their actions. So, you know, there are boundaries we can set, and ways of being that still allows us to genuinely live and let live, to want the best for everyone, to hope for a great outcome for everyone and everything. And then when we sit with that and we begin to reprogram our brains, then more and more it becomes easier to genuinely love yourself, to accept yourself, warts and all, as you are in this moment of now. And when you know all of the different behavior patterns and thoughts and early stories in your life that programmed and changed you to be who you are now, then it becomes much easier to rest in deep inner peace and comfort. And when you notice yourself milking those moments of glorious despair and uncertainty and wallowing in self-pity sometimes. Not that I would ever do that. When you notice that, it becomes easier again to get through those periods very quickly and to keep changing your mind. And by changing your mind is when you notice the negative, you can smile at it, you can go, thank you, I recognize this emotion and this story that I'm telling myself, and I go back to practicing gratitude. I allow myself to feel grateful for something, you know, whether it's a small or a big thing, and just shifting those emotions, shifting the thought away from the feeling, disempowers the feelings. We stop making so many of the neurotransmitters that make that particular feeling in our body, and we change. And we all do that at our own pace. When we continue to be in a bad mood or to take things too seriously, if we're too arrogant about ourselves and our own God-given right to, you know, have the world revolve around us, then we can become quite grumpy old people. And ask any grumpy old person and they'll tell you that it's their right to be grumpy. And that's all well and good, and yes it is. And when you're grumpy, you're unpleasant to be around. People won't want to be around you, and then it becomes a self-sustaining prophecy of, oh, we're not good enough, worthy enough, all these different things. And as we progress in our overpopulated, interesting, glorious, beautiful world, for each of us individually, we also have to remember, as we grow old, hopefully we'll have those people in our lives that will look after us. And when we come to being in a hospital or other senior setting, again, we want to make the most out of those situations, and will already want to be in a headspace and physical space where we can be grateful even when conditions are poor. Because if we can't find the silver linings, and if all we do is complain, then again, it's going to prolong our suffering into the late stages of our life. Now, we can change at any moment. We can change when we're 10, 20, 50, 97. The older we get, the more initial work it takes to get your brain to, you know, get going again. However, it's always doable, and all we have to do is keep encouraging ourselves and keep plodding. So with that said, let's do a trance to make ourselves more grateful, happier, appreciative of life, to be more accepting around those and of those around us who influence our lives and create happiness or moments of glorious drama. So, you know, if we have a shop attendant to complain about, or something negative we see, the more we bring love into that and allow ourselves to see it from their point of view. And even if they are just really nasty for whatever reason, there'll be a story behind that we don't know, and we can judge it, or we can accept it and still send love. In doing that more and more, we also open our hearts to ourselves, and then we can find inner peace and comfort, deep physical comfort. The more you practice going into trance, the more you allow yourself to experiment within your physical being, how deep you can go, how you can let your body relax and be comfortable, the more you'll really be grateful for those skills at any time when you have significant discomfort or extreme pain. If you know how to leave your body if there's extreme pain, that's a really good thing to be able to do. So the more you practice, the easier you'll be able to go into these healthy, relaxing, healing states, and the more you can love and encourage yourself and accept yourself exactly as you are in this moment of now. Now, as I talk and as I do this recording, I don't like uncertainty. It's one of my big triggers, and I'm really working on embracing uncertainty, Now there is a thunderstorm brewing outside, so if at any time there is a loud thunder crack, depending on my editing skills, I may be able to remove it, or if it gets too loud, then I invite you to use the sounds that Mother Nature provides to shake loose any residual negative energy in your system, to cleanse and clear any blockages, and to let the lovely rain, if it falls, just wash away all your worries and fears, anticipating the new renewal of life that comes with these lovely downpours. So, I invite you now to make yourself comfortable wherever you are. Ideally, with your head nicely supported, maybe in a recliner or on a bed or just wherever. I'm going to turn these lights out. And as you relax now, just for a while, I would like you to reassure your subconscious mind that you're safe by listening to all of the different sounds around you, both inside and outside of the room where you are. And as you listen to these sounds, some of them quite pleasant, the more and more I invite you to allow any sound that is not an emergency to relax you and take you deeper. Let each out-breath gently take you deeper still, and let a deep feeling of calm, a heavy relaxation spread through your body, maybe starting in the corners of your eyes and allowing that heaviness to move down your face as you relax your cheeks, your mouth, and your jaw, and even relaxing the muscles inside your mouth. See and feel that relaxation moving over your forehead, over the top of your head and down the back of your neck, as you relax your shoulders and arms, relaxing your hands and your fingers, relaxing your chest and your stomach, your hips and your legs, relaxing your feet and your toes, in giving yourself the intention to work towards your highest and best will and good, to allow yourself to be more grateful, to be more forgiving to everyone around you who is struggling just like you are. And as you do, as you more deeply relax and accept yourself at every level as you are in this moment of now, that you can allow every single part of you, from the purely physical to the highest spiritual, and all the layers in between, whatever that may be for you, you can allow them all to align with your brightest and best possible future, which is in front of you, with the past behind you. Now, in a moment, as I count from 10 to 1, you may wish to allow yourself to imagine that you're walking or drifting down a familiar set of stairs. If you're not visual, then you might imagine that you're walking down those stairs with your eyes closed, and attempt to allow yourself to engage your other senses. So you might hear your footsteps, or you might feel the handrail on the wall, or allow any other aspect to come to you that does. And if you're not visual at all, that's okay, it doesn't matter. Simply let the concepts drift through your mind and allow yourself to relax. And the deeper you go, the more your mind can embrace all of these different concepts. When I get to the number 1, at the bottom of this set of stairs, there is a comfortable bed with a pillow that is just right for you. So when I get to the number 1, you'll drift onto that bed, rest your head on the pillow, and drift off into a most beautiful daydream where you'll find yourself in your ideal healing space for today. Perhaps in a beautiful forest clearing, or by the beach, or wherever is right for you. As I count from 10 at the top of the stairs, And 9, relaxing and letting go. 8, nobody wanting anything and nobody needing anything from you at the moment. This is your relaxation and trance. 7, as you gently drift deeper down. 6, and 5, more and more relaxed. 4, as any sound that's not an emergency gently takes you deeper now. 3, and 2, almost at the bottom of the stairs. As 1, drifting onto that bed, resting your head on the pillow, and drifting off into a most beautiful daydream, where you now find yourself in your ideal healing space for you, wherever that may be. And as you allow yourself to relax, I wonder, what sort of surface would you be sitting or lying on in your healing space? Maybe it's a beautiful mossy lawn or a nice smooth rock but close by a burbling brook of water. You might be sitting on a beach towel with your feet in the sand or wherever you find yourself. For a moment, allow yourself to feel the texture of whatever you're sitting or lying on, to see the patterns that might be there. Perhaps you might feel a gentle breeze on your cheeks, and you can imagine that you allow every single one of your little cells in your body, all of these glorious little amazing machines, each of them yours, each of them a part of you. Imagine allowing them to remember a beautiful, deeply relaxed time, a holiday, a blissful moment of inner peace and calm. And the more we practice these different techniques to become more relaxed, the easier it becomes to do this. So perhaps you might have your favorite crystal nearby, or you might give yourself the OK signal now, the Gyan Mudra signal, to relax your body and to let those cells remember deeper relaxation and calm. Perhaps the most gentle, soothing, easing heaviness might spread through you. And perhaps, as I connect the universal healing energy to all of us now, and this is only ever with your permission, so if you would like this healing energy to flow through you, then in your mind simply think, I allow it, I embrace it. And our guardians and guides, whoever they may be, whatever they may be for all of us, they can look over us and allow that energy to flow where it is needed and direct and guide. So as I connect, you might start to become aware of a most beautiful, soothing, healing, relaxing sensation entering through the crown of your head or through other body parts as appropriate and needed, as if a most beautiful shaft of sunlight was touching your forehead, and just that feeling of gentle, easing, relaxing, calming energy flowing through you. Allow that. And perhaps as this soothing, gentle light moves across your forehead, all the little cells that it touches, gently massaged and relaxing, releasing that stress and tension, all the stories of judgment of how good or bad our day and week and month and year and life has been so far. More and more now we just let that go. If we're in other people's business and we're worrying about things or stressing about things, again smile at that. If you tend to worry, you can practice worrying less. You can remember to forget to worry, and you can forget to remember to worry. And then, more and more, you rest your mind in the best case scenario, in those situations that you wish to create. And as you do, your body relaxes, and as this soothing, loving, healing energy spreads through you more, perhaps you might start to feel your throat relaxing as this loving energy rests there for a moment. Allow it to move across your shoulders, unburdening now and removing any burdens, responsibilities you've been carrying. Give yourself permission now to just rest for a while. They'll be here when you return, so now you simply relax. And as you do, you might start to feel lighter, as if all of this negative, heavy energy is being lifted off you or washed away through you, and allowed to ground deep into the earth, or perhaps a gentle breeze is pulling it out of your aura. Work with those senses and energy pathways that are right for you. Just like electrons finding different orbitals. Allow that energy to move in ways that is right for you, in your body, in your being, as you more deeply relax. As this soothing, loving, healing energy spreads through your chest and down your arms. Feel your arms relaxing. Bring your attention for a moment to your forearms and then to your hands. If you use your hands a lot, whether that's through physical activity or computer and mouse clicking or knitting or all of the different things that we do, just for a while imagine that soothing, calming energy is moving through your hands. Perhaps it's a warm energy or a cooling, comforting energy. And all the little muscles and tendons relax more deeply, allowing the healing energy to get to where it's needed, letting your immune system engage, allowing all of those beautiful little cells to reinforce and strengthen, to fix, to heal, to repair. Amazing bodies that we have. So let your hands relax and your fingers relax. And if you have sore wrists or forearms, let them relax more deeply. Soothing, healing pulses of energy where they're needed, as even the tendons and the mesenteries surrounding these areas relax so deeply that more healing energy can reach those hard to reach places. And then as you drift deeper now, allow that loving energy to reach your heart. Put your hand on your heart if it helps you. And for a while, give yourself permission to receive your own love, to receive the love of everyone who is present in this moment of now. We are all allowed to be here. Be grateful for being present in this moment. And as our energies are entwined in the ever-conscious, unconscious, subconscious, metaconscious, in this amazing space where we operate, where there is no space, there is no time. Everything is nothing and nothing is everything. All hail Douglas Adams. Smile at yourself. Give yourself permission to relax. Give your heart permission to relax, to expand and to heal. In loving yourself exactly as you are now. And whatever the journey, whatever traumas and dramas the past may have had, that have made us who we are, and our physical bodies and our emotional and mental body have responded in ways to deal with this life, to survive. So as we allow ourselves to be in this moment of now and allow everyone else to be as well, remembering that if we had their history, their genetics and upbringing, we would behave the way that they did, and putting any sort of label on other people may at times make us feel better. However, it's not necessary. More and more as we relax and accept and embrace uncertainty, giving ourselves permission to love ourselves and to really enjoy every moment of the ever-present now that we possibly can. Then allow yourself now to let go of any feelings of inadequacy, of not being good enough if that's what you've been told, or if that's what you've been taught to believe simply from the actions of others. And that's their karma. In always remembering that we can always love ourselves. We may not want to. We may like the story of not loving ourselves, and yet, once we really start, it becomes easier. So as you allow your heart to breathe in all of this love, to spread it through your body, to let it go to every place within you, you more deeply relax and you heal. If your heart has been hardened, maybe allow it to soften a bit. Yes, we might be afraid of being hurt yet again. And yet it's so glorious when we love in this world. So as we now allow this loving, soothing energy to move through our gut, where the microbes are that digest our food, that train our immune system about what is inside and what is outside, what is us and what is the rest of the world, what is healthy and what is unhealthy. Then as we allow ourselves to be more loving and kind with ourselves, gaining more from our nutrient intake, being more active at times, perhaps if you've been sluggish and you're simply starting to come out of your winter hibernation, or if you've been depressed. Sometimes relabeling depression can be really helpful, again speaking from personal recent experience. When we allow ourselves to go that we are ruminating rather than I'm depressed, so I'm mulling things over. Ultimately, we do that in order to try to find the best solution. And sometimes we need to actually be blasted out of our normal rumination where we're having the same negative thoughts and connotations every time. And instead, when we see the bigger picture, when we can shift our perspective, then we can start ruminating with a more positive mindset, being grateful for what we do have, and finding different and better outlets. So perhaps you can allow yourself, wherever you are in your journey, to find a little bit more energy if that's what you need. For some of us, we're so energetic, we actually need to, bank the fires and turn them down a bit. Do what is right for you today, for your choice of being. Do you want more energy? See and feel your inner fire burning brighter. Breathe a little bit more deeply. Do a bit of breath of fire. Look that up on YouTube if you need. That's breath of fire. If you do that for 2 minutes, you're going to have more energy than if you have a cup of coffee. Or breathe more slowly and be more relaxed if you need to conserve your energy, to turn it down a bit. So as you make those adjustments that are right for you, allowing yourself to get more energy out of your day, to get more appreciation, moments of being present. And that all starts with observing how much we're not present. And for not criticizing ourselves for that, simply setting the intention and more often tuning into how am I feeling? What's happening in my body? What am I avoiding and feeling in my body at the moment? How am I distracting myself? And then we make adjustments. We change our habits and patterns in ways that we desire for our highest and best will and good. And we align with those and we reinforce them so that every day in every way we become stronger, happy and healthy, calm and relaxed. And as that soothing energy keeps spreading through your abdomen and a feeling of comfort and calm and energy, of confidence and inner strength spreads through you. You smile at yourself like I'm smiling at myself, and you allow yourself to be happier, to be more appreciative of life, to be more accepting and loving of everyone around you, and to be more accepting and loving of yourself, gently encouraging yourself every step of the way. And when we have our own back, then more and more easily we enjoy this life. We act with strength and confidence. We stop worrying. We start living a happier, healthier life. And then every day and everywhere we grow stronger, happier and healthier, calm and relaxed. As I count again from 10 to 1, let yourself go deeper. Become more relaxed. Let go of any negative energy, any negative habits or beliefs that no longer serve you well. As I count from 10 to 9, going twice as deep. 8, twice as relaxed. 7, twice as real. 6 and 5, twice as deep again. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rest here for a moment now. Reinforce your calm anchor with the OK signal if you so choose, or by holding or picturing in your mind's eye that object or item, your favorite crystal that you're going to use to calm yourself. And then let the cells in your body remember this relaxed state. Let your energies remember it. Let your mind remember it. And smile at yourself as you observe your own actions and allow yourself to encourage yourself to become happier and healthier, calm and relaxed, growing in strength and wisdom and confidence. And as that thunderous energy charges you now, strengthening you, giving yourself permission to be this amazing being that you are, with ancient bones, amazing ancestors. We've all been through so much, possibly even through many lifetimes. So as we relax, allow yourself to be you, your brightest and best possible you. And as that energy aligns, and as you now integrate and become whole, you become the happy and healthy you of the future that you already are, stronger and confident, happy and healthy, calm and relaxed. Now in a moment, I'm going to gently bring you back. In a moment, as I count from 1 to 5, you will slowly start to return, a feeling of wellness and calm returning with you. Allow yourself for one last glorious moment of infinity to rest in this space, taking as much time and absorbing as much energy as you need in this space, and letting yourself return in the most beautiful, soothing, healing, relaxing way that is right for you. As I count from 1, this deeply relaxed state which is always within you, which the more you practice, the more quickly and easily you can become this relaxed and even more relaxed when it is safe to do so. To 2, gently starting to return, a feeling of wellness and calm returning with you. 3, as you slowly, gently start to emerge. 4, coming closer now, bringing that wellness and calm back with you. And 5, being completely back in your body now and taking your time. Your eyes will open when you're ready, in a way and at a pace that's right for you. Now, just a few more words. The thunder is getting closer, so that's why I went a little bit faster towards the end. However, for those of you who are still in deep trance at this point, that's great and wonderful. Wherever you are and however you are, may you be happy. May you be free from suffering. May you remember gratitude and to practice gratitude regularly and often. To meditate when you can and to observe how wonderful this little monkey mind of ours is as it screams and hollers and doesn't like being still. And yet, the more we practice, the more fun, exciting, and glorious this life becomes. Thank you again for your attention. Thank you to all of us and to all our ancestors. Just generally, thank you. I hope you have a most wonderful rest of day, a deep, glorious night's sleep, a restoring night's sleep, wherever you are. And may we find world peace starting in ourselves. So, on that note, Namaste. Thank you again.